In 1949, Angela Ruiz Robles noticed a problem. Her students had to lug heavy textbooks to class every day. She invented a machine that would compress the books and make it easy for her students to carry all of them in one simple container. Though her idea never took off, it was the beginning of what we modernly have as ebooks. In 1791, a college student named Michael Hart had unlimited access to one of the rare Xerox machines, which had connection to the ARPANET, which was the predecessor of the Internet. Inspired by somebody handing him a free copy of the Declaration of Independence leading up to July 4th, he decided to input all of that text and send it out to everybody on ARPANET and say that the file was available for download. Only 6 people took him up on this, but that was technically the first ebook ever published. By 1999, Dick Brass of Microsoft declared that ebooks were the future of reading. He said, "We are embarking on a revolution that will change the world at least as much as Gutenberg did." He predicted that by 2018, 90% of all books sold would be ebooks. So, looking backwards along the historical chain, as the empirical program of relativism does, we can see how these milestones have brought us to the place that we are today. It would take far more time to thoroughly examine ebooks using the social construction of technology. The history and the sociological state of each era would have to be examined in full to completely understand each sector of the society's viewpoint toward this emerging technology. But this is what I do know about why ebooks have emerged as a thing in today, 2017. Firstly, as a society, we need information. We need to share information, and not only information that is bite-sized, but is larger, e.g. a book form, not just a text or a Twitter update. Not only do we need information in the form of numbers and algorithms, which is what computers were first invented to share, that kind of information, but we also need information that tells ideas and emotions. Secondly, ebooks have become more widespread because of the entertainment that they provide. A lot of reading is people entertaining themselves either with fiction or nonfiction. But ebooks provide a very quick and easy way to get books. You don't have to go out to a bookstore. They're very easily accessible is point 3. So point 2, entertainment. Point 3, they're easily accessible. That's a human need. And number 4, they're usually cheap because the materials put into actually publishing a physical book is not a factor. Now, when Michael Hart originally sent out the Declaration of Independence, only 6 people chose to download that ebook. And at that time period, he was only making it available, it was only available to a very limited audience, those at universities that had a computer that was connected to ARPANET. Very, very limited amount of people. And of those limited amount of people, it was a very limited success rate. Only 6 people downloaded. But for those people, even for those who received his message that it was available for download, the idea of the ebook was a revolutionary idea for how to use the computer. That was new for that social group of people who was using computers. Most people didn't think that computers would be a thing, that they would be used by the common man. At that time, that was the general idea. But now, with, fast forward however many years, now we have the internet, now everybody's connected to the internet virtually. Most people view ebooks as cheap alternatives to true literature. Many are self-published and unedited, which lends itself to that cheap status. The CNET executive editor, David Carnoy, said, Because the barrier to entry of publishing an ebook is so low, the majority of self-published books are pretty bad. If I had to put a number on it, I'd say that less than 5% are decent and less than 1% are really good, which is a huge problem as far as the social acceptance of ebooks. If that small of a percentage are good and socially accepted as good, then that's a huge detriment to their success. And that's the greatest conflict that I see with this technology. However, many view self-published works as potential treasures because such books as the Harry Potter series, 50 Shades of Grey, and The Martian, which, we have all those books ended up being turned into movies, very, very well known in society, were all originally self-published. And so there's potential in this market. But even if the ebook is well written, it's valid literature, socially, even bigger than that, the biggest detriment to ebook publishing is the fact that 40% of physical books that are purchased are actually purchased to be gifts. And so the underlying problem is that humans are physical creatures, and we like giving each other physical gifts. And I'm about to wrap up, but as we move towards the one web that Kevin Kelly talked about in his next 5,000 days of the web presentation, this is the biggest issue. If all information becomes connected over the web, and ebooks being a part of this, the need that humans have to give and to receive gifts is going to be severely mutilated. So there's a balance that we must strike. Our behavior has and will change towards reading because of the availability of ebooks and e-readers, but the problem of desiring a physical article to hold for oneself, and even more to be able to give away to someone as a gift, that's going to remain.